good evening. Updating you on this breaking news happening right now at the North Kern State Prison, where there has been a shooting. Someone was able to get inside the prison gates, and a correctional officer has been wounded at this hour. We're told this is an active scene happening right outside North Kern State Prison, outside of Delano. We have 23 ABC's Stephen Hicks, who is there right now and has the latest information. We heard sirens just a second ago. Stephen, how's it looking out there?
Yeah, Tim, they've completely locked this area down. They're turning cars away. We're at a radius about 500 feet away from, 500 yards away from the actual fence. And as you said, someone was able to make their way inside this prison. It's unconfirmed at this time how many shots were fired. We've heard as many as 30 shots. One officer was hit critically at this time. We don't know his condition. We will continue to monitor this situation, and that's really all we know right now at this time, Tim. So we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, Stephen, and obviously there's going to be a delay here. I'm going to keep you on the line here. And we just saw a second ago in the shot, it sounds like this is still an active scene, right? Have they given you any indication that they're still looking for this suspect, that this person is still on the loose, essentially?
Yeah, Tim, at this time we don't know that. They have locked this area down, so we don't know if the shooter is still, still making his way around this prison. But as you said, he somehow made his way into the prison, shot at least 30 times on the scene there. One or two officers were hit. One of them appears to be non-life threatening. The other, his condition is still unknown at this time. But Tim, we will continue to monitor this situation.
All right, we're going to let them get to work and find out any information they can for us. We want to keep this shot up, though, so we're going to let Stephen get the information he needs from the folks who are on that scene. But as you can see from there, there's still an active scene playing out here at the North Kern State Prison. As Stephen mentioned, someone was shot tonight, a correctional officer. We don't know the extent of his injuries. This happening just after 7 o'clock tonight. As you can see from where our vantage point is, they're a good 500 yards from the gate that lets you in to the prison there. And as we mentioned, according to the latest information we are able to get, and of course this is a fluid situation, the lieutenant telling us just about an hour ago that they believe this shooter came from outside the prison. This wasn't a situation of a riot inside or someone gaining control of a deputy or a correctional officer, weapon. This is someone they believe came from the outside. And as you can see here in the shot, still an active scene. Our crew photographer on the scene before Stephen got there was telling us they saw CHP as well as Delano PD and Kern County Sheriff's deputies in full armored gear searching this area. And as you can see, they're still looking at vehicles that are coming through. Presumably this is what would be a checkpoint of some sorts, as folks, they have locked down this area. If we could throw the map back up of this area that we're looking at right now, this is just outside of Delano off West Cecil Avenue. This is the North Kern State Prison. This is between Highway 99, Highway 43. And as we mentioned, just joining us here on this live stream, shots have been fired inside the security gates at North Kern State Prison. One correctional officer has been wounded. The extent of his injuries, we're not sure, critical or serious, or what the situation might be. But as you can imagine, they're trying to get help to this deputy. If we go back out to the to the scene right now, as you can see, a very active scene. This is one of a few checkpoints that have been set up in the area surrounding the prison. If we want to take that live shot again, that shows just how active the scene is. As Stephen mentioned, it's still a fluid situation. Deputies in full armored gear making their way down. As you can see, traffic on this side. I'm not sure what street this is that they're on, but traffic is still going on that side. We're not sure if that's a deputy's vehicle or not. You can see lights of some kind of correctional vehicle in the foreground there. But as we mentioned, if you're just joining us now, a shooting at North Kern State Prison just after 7 o'clock this evening. One correctional officer has been wounded, and the other, we are hearing possibly that a second correctional officer was wounded. We haven't been able to confirm that information as well. Also unconfirmed reports that some 30 rounds were fired. That is also unconfirmed at this hour, but obviously a very fluid situation happening. This is right outside North Kern State Prison. Our crew on the scene telling us that they have locked this area down, and officers with the CHP, deputies with the Kern County Sheriff's Department, as well as the Delano PD, as you can see, they're full armored gear as they are working to presumably protect this scene. And we don't know if there is still a search for the suspect ongoing at this time. We're getting reports that people on social media are saying someone from the outside. Yeah, we're getting text messages from some of our producers they're saying that people on social media are also saying that this person came from the outside. I was able to confirm that information before our crew got to the scene from a lieutenant, a watch commander as they're called, who was actually on his way out to the scene. He's probably there now, and who did confirm they believe this person, whoever shot this correctional officer, came from outside the prison and was able to somehow get past what we would presume would be at least one security checkpoint, if not others. As you can see, the deputies are not lacking any sort of firepower in terms of security at these prisons. So as this investigation continues, I'm sure we'll find out how this was able to happen, and of course the situation on the status of this correctional officer who has been wounded, as there is a shooting playing out right now. We don't know if this is an active shooter situation where the suspect is still on the loose, or whether they're able to find the suspect inside the Kern State Prison walls there. You'd presume that if the suspect did get inside the area and was firing enough shots, they would be able to locate him. And I want to give time here if Stephen is wanting to get in front of the camera and talk any more information that he has. I'm going to stay with you here on the live stream. As he gathers more information from the scene, we're going to see if he's able to give us any updates as he is out there live at the scene right now. Our news crew on what is an active scene. Stephen stepping in front of the camera. We'll let him update us with any information he may have.
Yeah, Tim, at this time, we still don't know if the shooter is active, but they are pushing us back. We're about 500 yards past the prison. They're going to push us about a half mile up towards Cecil and Fremont. At that time, a PIO, public information officer, will be there to inform us on the details. And so right now, we're going to break down our camera and head over there. So, Tim, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, Stephen, thank you. Obviously a very fluid situation, as you can see there. We'll let them get to the appropriate place that deputies want to have them as they complete this investigation. He was mentioning Fremont. That is quite a ways outside of the prison there on West Cecil Avenue. So obviously pushing media back to some kind of staging area as they get any information relayed to us to be able to relay to you. But as you mentioned, and as we were able to see from that scene, a very active scene playing out tonight at the the North Kern State Prison, where one deputy has been shot. A correctional officer has been shot. An active shooter situation, we don't know, but we are hearing unconfirmed reports that some 30 rounds were fired. And as you can see from that shot just a second ago, this is a very fluid scene as deputies from the Kern County Sheriff's Department, we were told officers from the CHP as well as Delano PD, all assisting in this investigation to figure out what exactly happened. And we will stay on top of this, of course, for you. Our live stream, turn223.com, as well as our mobile and tablet apps. You can get updates, you get push alerts there when we have updates coming up. And of course, on 23 ABC News at 11, we'll try to gather all the latest information for you and bring it to you then. For now, in the 23 ABC studios, I'm Tim Callahan. We'll see you soon.